The dogs are kicking off, by the way, if you're wondering.
Yeah. So what do you reckon with this whole football season now? What do you reckon with League One?
Oh, hold on a second, now. 1 second. Get out. Get in there. He's all right. He'll just do what he's told. She's a nightmare. Right, say again. Sorry, what you say? Sorry.
I'm just saying, what do you reckon is going to happen with League One then? Because it looks like the Premier and the Championship are coming back. So
I think they should do what they said. Is just do that. You know, I think it's the fairest thing, isn't it? You know, what games you won, that's the points you would have generated. What do they call it? There's a name for it, isn't there? Like that average point thing.
Weighted points per game.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. Because
I think the way in League Two, they've gone unweighted, haven't they? Did League Two go unweighted?
Here's the argument, right? Here's the problem, right? Being a Southend fan, right, we probably should just take it on the chin and go, well, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, that's the way it is. But then if you're Tranmere,
yeah,
you're only 3 points behind Wimbledon, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Then there's the argument, right? And then there'll be people who go, I mean, can you imagine how Leeds must be feeling if they haven't carried on after all this time? You know, and the other thing is Liverpool fans are but their luck's about as good as the Southend fans, and it's like, they must have just been thinking, you've got to be joking.
Liverpool needs 6 points.
Unbelievable. Yeah, they just give them the title, but there's always going to be that little asterisk there, isn't there?
Yeah,
but
it'll always be tainted.
I just think it's too expensive now. I don't know. You know, the players are coming out of contract. I think if it's going to be behind closed doors, probably all right for the big clubs because they might, you know, I don't know how they work with TV and the money they get, but, you know, you're going to put on a game at Southend with no fans. It's going to cost money. You know, I think when we play Millwall, it's the worst thing that happens to Southend because it costs the club money because the police they have to put on. So it'd be one of those kind of scenarios, but every week. So it'll cost the lower leagues to put the games on and not get anything back. So I think, you know, as far as we're concerned, we'll just go, right, kill it and we'll start fresh next year. But if you are like points out of winning it and getting promotion, then, you know, if you're...
Yeah.
The more I think about it, I don't know.
It's a tough one, but for me now, I've got to the point, just end it and just go, right, you know, make it fair. But then do we say then who comes up and who goes down? So
there is an argument to suggest that as stupid as it sounded at the time, but actually having no relegation and just promotion is probably the fairest way to do it.
I did think that. I said, let's just give everyone the
Yeah, and I'm not just saying that for
unless the other thing you do is you have a playoff. So instead of doing the playoffs like normal, you have the top two promotion teams play the bottom.
The relegation teams, yeah.
It's a good idea for us, this, isn't it? So we
do that now. They do that. It's similar to what they do in Scotland, isn't it? That's how the Scottish playoffs work.
So we get in a playoff now against whoever's below us, so we might have a chance.
So so we'd have to play.
Bolton and Southend playoff with
Crewe and Plymouth. So if Plymouth beat Bolton, Plymouth and Bolton swap places. We beat Crewe, we stay in League One.
Yeah,
Crewe stay in League Two.
That's all it is. No finals or nothing. It's just that. That done and dusted. Yeah. And then Stevenage. Didn't Stevenage go down?
Yeah.
So they get relegated still, even though they killed.
Well, if at the moment it has apparently been confirmed, but I mean, I guess it could change. But I mean,
they've said League Two have said they've stopped, so they have no plans to actually play those games, but they haven't come to a final decision yet on what's actually going to be the outcome. I think. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what's happened.
Weren't Stevenage doomed anyway? Are they not really?
Pretty much.
You'd probably say they would have gone down, but I mean, they could have
still. Because I was all for like what you're saying about just look, it's gone on for so long now. We're doomed. Just end it. Us and Bolton, we're down. We probably deserve it more than Bolton because they had a points deduction. They've got the excuse of the points deduction. We haven't. But someone threw up a league table of after the same amount of games this time last year. Well, it was one more game, but the same time of the season, same weekend. There was one more game because obviously we had the one extra team last season. And it was after 36 games. Of that bottom four at that point, by the end of the season, only one of those four actually got relegated. And it was Bradford. and AFC Wimbledon, who were bottom at that time,
that's right.
Didn't get relegated.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're like
so yeah, what's the argument?
27. There's 27 points still to play for. Like, and again, it sounds ridiculous. I'm not trying to fight Southend's corner here. I'm trying to talk general football.
Yeah.
The likes of Tranmere in the Championship. You've got Charlton, who have only dropped in there the last weekend before the lockdown. Surely Charlton deserve a chance to fight to stay up.
Well,
surely Tranmere deserve the chance to fight.
Exactly on that, what we were saying, Stevenage are only 3 points away from Macclesfield.
And there's 9 games left.
So 9 games left. Well, 9 games left. They're only 10 from Morecambe then. So it would be. Yeah, maybe they should just stop. We should maybe just write it all off.
Yeah, I think that might rear its head again.
Well, are we 16 points adrift off?
Yeah.
We're long gone, and like you said, we do deserve to go down. But like you say, it's the teams that have a chance. It is unfair.
I would actually like to point out as well. I don't think there should be promotions either, for that matter. Because how many times have Leeds famously bottled it at the final month? You know, Leeds have got the final month of the season still to play. They were top this time last season and they threw it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, no, you're right. You know, but now we get into the cliches, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, so it takes a minute.
Listen, no one. I think this is why it's obviously taking so long. There's so many opinions, and there's never going to be a right answer that's going to please everyone. No. The obvious way to please everyone is to get the games played. But as you say, the lower league clubs, that then starts costing money. It's far too expensive.
Too expensive. And
what's it going to cost Southend to put on a game where no fans can go? You're going to have less. It's constant outlay.
Yeah, you're going to argue though that you're not going to have the stewards, right? So there are going to be arguments. There are going to be arguments.
No bars, no food stalls.
So there is going to be, but I think the PFA, that's what they're there for. They maybe should fund these games, and if it's going to happen.
Did they not say that the testing alone is going to cost 140 grand?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, that alone is not going to work, is it?
No.
But the thing is that
Me2 said it. They said they literally all I think literally majority of them as well all agree that they cannot afford it.
Yeah. But the thing is, why would they? Why would that be in any of these clubs' budgets at the start of the season? It's such an unprecedented situation that's happened.
Totally. So
you can't blame the clubs for saying we can't afford it.
No. But the only thing we have for us as Southend fans is we were already, we already had our own problems before all this. So
yeah.
It's been ridiculously run. And
I wonder if our transfer embargo has been lifted.
Yeah. We still got a winding up order as well.
Yeah, I think so. That got postponed, didn't it?
But companies can, you can move your VAT on at the moment, and you can postpone payment and stuff. So
yeah. So I mean, it'll blag that for a few more months, won't it?
I was getting a bit annoyed towards the end, though. Look, like I said, you can't blame people. No one deliberately goes out to play shit, right? But I'll be honest with you, I was getting slightly annoyed. I thought it was a bit rich when they were saying players aren't getting paid at the club, and I thought, fucking hell, you don't deserve it. No, I mean, some of the performances you've got going. How can you stand there week after week losing games going, well, can I have my money, please?
It is probably the only industry, isn't it, where
it's unbelievable.
There's no other industry like it.
When you pay,
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. When you get paid to get sacked. You get paid for it.
Yeah.
It's better. We'll never change it. Well, maybe we will. I don't know. Don't know if we need to.
I think it will change as a result of all this coronavirus.
Yeah, I think it might. We've sort of touched on it a little bit, saying obviously it's shit right now, but 5-10 years from now, I think and I hope we can look back on this time and actually say it helped lower league football, because I think certainly it's going to have to bring in salary caps.
Yeah. Yes. You're right, and maybe we might even go back to that north, cut the country into a quarter again. And
I was going to mention this. I was going to mention this. It's pure hypothetical. How would you feel? If you had the Premier League, the Championship, they stay as normal, and then you have Football League North and Football League South.
Yeah, that's how it was years ago. It was even in quarters, wasn't it?
Yeah. But my thinking is, obviously clubs right now, they're hemorrhaging money, and as is every business, it's not, but like specifically with football. So you then, right, so every away trip is going to be relatively short. So there's no overnight stays in the hotels, like
Big
short
crowds.
trips, bigger crowds. Every away attendance is going to be pretty big. I actually think there could now be a market for North and South.
And play it like the American football.
And then at the end of the season, and then at the end of the season becomes a bit like the Johnson's Paint Trophy, where the playoff is from the North and South, and they play each other.
Yeah, and then they get promoted into the Championship.
Yeah.
Well, that's how, isn't that how the conference works, isn't it?
Yeah. So you got a conference prem and then conference.
Imagine being a Plymouth fan and you're playing Carlisle. Gee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that would be the furthest we'd have to go, is down to Devon. But you know, other than that, we'd have Orient, Colchester, Stevenage, Northampton, Oxford.
Wickham. Yeah. There's so much. Yeah.
Great. Like,
it would be good. It would be good. That. Yeah, I'd be up for that. I'll be up for it. Should we do it?
Should we
make this happen now?
We'll write to the EFL.
We want it now.
But you know what? With some of the crap they've come out with, not to blow my own trumpet, but that's one of the better ideas that would have come out of all this.
I think it's a great idea.
Oh, we're gonna disinfect the pitch. You're not, are you? Because if I go and make a slide tackle on that, it's gonna burn my skin.
I'm lost in it now. It's got to a point with the coronavirus. I just you know, you go through the conspiracy, don't you? And then you come back out the other side and go, don't be stupid. And then you go conspiracy again. Just go in. You know, players will get fined for spitting on the pitch and all this. And I'm just thinking, what's going on? What is really going on?
You must, as a goalkeeper, how many times have you instinctively just spat on your gloves?
Loads of times.
You do it. It's just what you do. I played in goal when I was a kid. You just do it. Every time the ball's up the other end, just a little quick one.
What I do is what I always do is get a mouthful of water and go like a spray. That's what I do. But I was talking to my neighbours are doctors. You know, they're lovely people, Billy and Ash, and you know, he was saying to me that it's all been played down. I said, do they, you know, about the coronavirus? I said, are they playing it up? And he went, no, they're playing it down. And I said, is it really bad? He went, horrendous.
It's weird, isn't it?
There was a thing, you know, they keep going about how many people died. Think about how many people died, and it says like in your area so many people died, and he'd already hinted to me, you know, not completely, but he'd already hinted to me how many sort of in the ballpark had died. It was a lot more than they were hinting on the news that had died. So I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? It's very weird. It's like being in a film. It's like a really weird plot for a movie. But they're gonna next year have these phones which tells me that I've walked past someone with the coronavirus. Hold on a second, that's happening, isn't it? I'm not updating. You know, and then you'll be seen as dirty or something. I don't know. You know, it's just crazy.
It is just strange. There's little things that I've kind of just strangely got used to now. Like, yeah, it will be odd to go back to my normal.
Yeah, well,
it's very easy to get in a bad routine.
Well, like I said to you, most performers, I would say, not a lot's changed for us apart from that we're not performing. You know, I honestly spend my day in my pants. You know, I am in my pants all day. I just get up, I have a shower, I put a pair of pants on, and I've spent the day in the pants. I mean, it's a running joke with my postman. He just thinks it's hilarious, you know. Put your pants on. It's just, what's the point? I haven't got to put anything on. Not until I go and do a gig tonight or whatever I'm doing, you know, or go in, like if I'm going into town to do radio or voiceover or something, I'm in my pants. And when last time I did Hawkesbury and Jacobs, no, I didn't. I did Glory Hunters for TalkSport. I came back, I put my jeans on the banister. And the next time I put those jeans on is when 28 days later I did it again. And I went back into town and then put the jeans back. And I actually put them away this time. So, you know, I've worn jeans twice in the whole of this.
I've not had a pair of jeans on since February, I don't think.
At least the weather's been nice. No.
Yeah. But it's just.
I might do a video actually. You know what I might do? I've got an idea. I might do a thing where I lock this off, right? Lock the iPad off, and I might go and it'll only be for Southend fans. Anyway, every time I post anything, I lose followers anyway. Right? I've got so many shirts. Right, I might do a thing where I put all the shirts on and then put it in one film. We go. So I've got one shirt that nobody's got. The only other person who's got is my best friend James. We've both got it, and it is an Olympus shirt. It's white with grey and red here.
Oh, I remember that. I remember this.
The reason we had that, I'll tell you why we had that shirt. We had it for one game. It was against Gillingham. And the reason we had it, we played them in a cup, and we didn't have a change of shirt. We're going to clash with them, so it was only used for that game. And I somehow got hold of two of those shirts. I've got one of them, and my mate's got the other. And then I think, because I used to change up. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I've got the 9. I've got the 9 shirt from the Stan Collymore era. So I don't know if Stan wore 10 and wore 9, and Ricky Otto wore 9 as well. I'm not sure. But I've got the 9 shirt.
Four names on the shirt.
I've got loads. Yeah, I've got like Andy Thompson shirts, and I've got a Mark Beard shirt, and I've got a Rob Newman shirt. I've got loads of shirts, and I should just put them all on and do a little video. I've missed a few though. I've missed a few.
Yeah, I've missed a few more. Like the recent.
I haven't
ones.
got that one. You've got one. I haven't got that pink one. My little boy's got it.
Yeah, no, the best one I've got. I don't know where it is, and they've got so many like in boxes in the loft and whatever. But I know I've still got this. I'd never get rid of this. I have. What year was it? I think it was 2000, 2001. If it was one of the last royal blue ones we had.
Oh yeah.
And it's Martin Bootie's shirt, and the collar is ripped, and it's got his blood on it, and it's signed by him.
You could clone him.
There's a blood stain on it. It's still caked in mud. I've never washed it.
That's fantastic. Bootie's shirt. Yeah, that would have been that sponsor, the brown sponsor on it, didn't it? It had a round white sponsor.
I think it was Rebus.
In fact, it's either that one after that, right, or it's the one that I'm wearing on the Ian Wright show with the bit of yellow in the V-neck.
Yeah, that was the. What's the word I'm looking for?
You might be wearing
Millennium season 2000. That was
because he wore. I'll show you really quick.
This is where you do the Chris Eubank impression, isn't it?
That's the way. Yes, it is. Yeah. I put it up today. I don't know what. I look so young in this as well. With Tom Jones and all that.
Yeah.
That shirt. That shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Whatever it was. Do you know what was funny? When I did that show, I did the Raw Variety with Lennox Lewis the Saturday after I did that show. I met my wife on that Ian Wright show. And Tom Jones was on that show as well as a guest. And just before that, the Saturday before, I'd been hosting a lottery show, right? And he was a guest on it. And at the time, he'd done a song with Keras Matthews, right? It's cold outside, right? It's cold outside. And they did it. It was like for a Christmas one. And when they left, I then stood on the riser. That's a little high sort of stage to do one of my links, right? And I had the band behind me that they'd just been singing. And I said to the boy in the band, I said, that was more like Tom Jones and Joe Pasquale, wouldn't it? They left the lyrics on the auto cue. So I started, well, it's cold outside. Well, I really must go. Cold outside. Right? Band playing it, everything. Boom. And as it finished, we all pissed ourselves. And all I could do was this. Tom Jones and gone. So when I walked on, if you watch that video again, when I first walk on and they're looking who this bloke's supposed to be, you can see Tom Jones, because I know he sort of double takes as if to go, you again, it's him. That guy who was taking the piss. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's so quick how quickly. And the reason the joke was done, because Stan was on the show as well. So that's why he says, next up, goes a footballer, play for Southend, you know. He's supposed to bring on Stan Collymore, and the joke was that I walk on.
Right.
And do the impressions, of course. Yeah.
That was good, that.
Another Southend show.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. If you could go back to, was it 1984, 85, did you say? when you were nothing. If you could go back to that time and you could click a button and switch careers from being a comedian to a footballer, would you do it?
Ooh.
No.
You wouldn't do it, no?
Not even a second thought.
There's two reasons. Not unless I was like the best and playing for England and what have you. But the difference between being a comedian and playing football, I can still do this, hopefully, when I'm like 70. You know, and 80. It's not over. You know, there comes a point with football, it's over. It's done. No matter how good you are, you know, Wayne Rooney's going to finish. You know, Teddy Sheringham finished. You know, it ends. Whereas being a performer, you know, I could still be doing an acting part when I'm 80. Hopefully, I can still get out and do voiceovers. So I can continue with I can continue. It won't finish. It'll only finish if some virus comes along. So no, I would definitely be. I'd definitely do what I do. Yeah, I was lucky enough to play a pretty good standard. And here's the irony of all of it: is doing what I did got me to be out playing loads of. I hate the word celebrity, but I got to play in loads of games, and I played at so many grounds that I played at grounds that Southend players would never play.
Yeah,
you know, I've been so blessed. You know, from Hillsborough to Anfield, to St James's Park, to the only one I haven't done is Wembley. I haven't done Man United either. So you know, Everton, Goodison Park, played there.
Yeah.
He scored a penalty against me. Then it was very funny. We got there, and you know, I don't know anyone. They're all like these young boys, good-looking boys from all these shows. I haven't got a clue. I'm not very good with things like that. But the man was on that game. Oh shit! My mind's going so crazy. Who's the pop star from Essex? Nice lad. Big. Was it came for all the X Factor?
Ollie Murs.
Ollie Murs. So there's Ollie Murs there, right? I know who he is. I don't know his music, but I know who he is, right? So you know, you go, "Oh, nice to meet you." There's really some great ones though. Stephen Graham would play a lot as well, so he's a good lad.
Yeah.
We had a great time meeting him. Get on really well with Stephen. So there's some crackers as well. And then Ollie Murs. It was really weird. I went, "Oh, hi, Ollie." I said, "I'm Terry." He went, "Terry Alderton." And I went, "Yeah." He went, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." He was like so excited. He was like, big fan. And I was going, "This is wrong, isn't it?" And then he scored a penalty against me. And then a few weeks later, I saw him in Epping. I was going in for some dinner, and he was just coming out with his girlfriend. They sat down and had a drink with us. He's a really nice boy, he is, actually. A lot of people come from Southend, don't they?
Yeah. He's involved in Coggleshaw. Is it Coggleshaw? Coggleshaw, is it? The football team?
He is. Is he in Coggleshaw now?
Part owner, I think.
I think he's still there now. Yeah. Certainly, season just gone.
They'll be right.
He played a lot as well. Oh God, my mind is so bad, boys. Who's the manager of Billericay? For God's sake.
Jamie O'Hara.
Jamie.
Oh,
he only lives just up there. He lives in some flats which are owned by, actually, I told you my mate about getting my mate to buy Southend to come in and all that.
Yeah.
He lives in his flats just down there, so I see Jamie now and again. And that's what I'm saying. When you play with those old pros, like, unbelievable, you know. So you get like, you know, you get Billy and Jezza.
Yeah.
You know, you two whatever called boys they are. They're like unbelievable. Their skills and flicks and tricks and all this shit, right? And you're just like, oh my God, and no one like from Love Island can touch them, right? Even though they might be good players. It's just outrageous, right? But then they come up against someone like Tilly and Kev Mayer, and they just are shit.
Yeah.
Even now, Tilly would just knock him into the stands. He would.
Yeah. Tilly still plays, doesn't he?
Tilly's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tilly's unbelievable.
The thing is, he's in great shape as well. He ain't lost. He looks the same. He was my Tilly was my PE teacher.
Was he?
Yeah, and so was Glenn Pennyfather.
Two of the nicest people.
Yeah, I was fucking 7 when I first met Tilly.
Tilly's such a nice boy.
It's weird. It's weird how I've sort of he then becomes the manager at Southend. I've got to know him like on a personal level and through work in recent years. But even when I was still just the kid that he once taught at PE, he's known my name all that time. He's never ever walked past me without saying hello. Never, never, ever, ever.
No, he's a lovely boy. He's a lovely boy, Steve. He's Frankie Banks' son, isn't he? I think what was lovely as well is I see him a lot. He could have got in my team. In fact, he played in that lovely. Do you remember that strip we had, the light blue? I know it's well before your time. Little white pinstripes there, and a big white.
I've seen it.
I've seen photos of it. Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, this is like more like 79, 80 kind of that sort of. And then of course we had the yellow and blue, and then they had Lang.
Yeah,
Lang was I think the first sponsorship we had. I think it might have been, could be wrong there, but I remember Lang.
Yeah, I think it might have been actually.
And that would have been, but it was what's his name from Birmingham? Bloody lovely great guy. He's bald now. He had long hair at the time. He's always at the games. Lovely. He's lovely. Oh, come to me. I can't remember anyone's names anymore.
I don't know who you mean.
Yeah, you know when I say it, it'll come to me in a minute. I have to go through the grey matter now. You know, I have to.
Oh, you're a player?
Yeah, he was a great player. Long curly hair when he was playing, and now he's bald. Oh man,
I can't think that is either.
I can't think.
He's a legend of the game. Hold on. I've got it somewhere. Oh, let me just look it up. Oh, came to me then. I'll text.
I'll kick myself when you tell me, probably.
You will. He's always at games. He's from Birmingham. He's a little bald guy. He's about late 50s.
Bald.
But when he was playing, he had long hair. Oh, crap. He's from Birmingham. Southend.
I can't even think of Big Roy when you say it.
Yeah.
Especially with the hair and all.
Players.
Michael Douglas.
That mean Ron Pountney, do you?
Pountney!
I was looking him up. I was looking him up because that was the only person I could think of that kind of fit the description. But I wanted to make sure where he was born.
Ronnie
Pountney. Went to school with his son.
Did you?
Yeah.
He's a lovely boy. He is. I remember I had a bit of a thing with Frankie Banks' daughter years ago. When I used to be a regular comedian at Churchill's, and she was one of the waitresses. Yeah. Bloody hell, Amanda, she's lovely girl. She was. Amanda, she probably still is a lovely girl.
Yeah.
It's Churchill's isn't there now, is it?
No,
it's a restaurant now.
It's nothing now, is it? It's gone, isn't it? That's moved.
Oh, those days were great.
Gosh, yeah, it's moved again, isn't it? Yeah, that's dead doing nothing again. No?
There it is.
So have you
Go on, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, have you with like your scheduling this year, have you had to cancel much?
Loads.
Anything?
And the funny thing was, boys, I decided, because I've got an ego, you know, I'm always feeling sorry for myself, and I kind of went, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just going to do voiceovers, and you know. And then I did a couple of Edinburgh shows, and they went down really well. And you know, and I'm quite an out there comedian, you know. And I did these shows that were well received, and I suddenly thought, you know what? And I did a couple of sort of little tours, and I thought, you know, I've got quite a good following of people who are loyal in the fact that they're in it, they're in the show, they get the gag, they get it, right? And I thought just stop and go, well, I'm not doing it anymore, it's probably a bit out of order. So I decided that I was going to have another big push, right? So do some tours and what have you. Guess what? So yeah, it has really put a spanner in my bracket. I don't even know what that means. Spanner in the bracket. It's a new one. So yeah, I was really up for it this year. And I put loads of festivals in. I still do like Edinburgh, and I do like, you know, I do things like the Galway Festival, and I do comedy festivals, but I was going to really go for it this year. And I had loads in, and they've all gone.
And then wallop.
Yep.
Someone has a bat.
I was going to get my ass back out and do it. And I just started doing some really nice, interesting stuff as well, you know, because I've got enough of a following for people where I don't have to justify it. I don't have to go, right, this is the reason I'm doing this, you know, because people who know now, who do come and watch me regularly, know, they just know. So they know what that is straight away. I don't have to say anything, I can do things in there, and then I start talking to myself, with the voices. And
it's like I was watching some of your stuff the other night, and I might it takes you a couple. You got to watch a couple of videos, then you get into it.
I tell you straight away. I remember one guy come up to me once, right, and he goes, before I tell you this, right, he said, I love the show tonight. I went, thanks, man. I'll tell you, he said, because you've got 5 minutes. I went, yeah, go for it. He said, I'm now probably one of your biggest fans. And I went, okay, cool. He said, but when I first ever saw you, he said, you were at the Comedy Store. And I thought it was the biggest pile of shit I'd ever seen. Right? He said, I was just sitting there going, what is everyone laughing at? Why are you laughing? It's crap. Who's he talking to? What? And then he said, then I turned up to another comedy club with a works do. And he said, lo and behold, who comes on stage? You. And I was like, oh man, not this guy again. He said, no, I was watching you going, this is so shit. And he said, I went to the bar and I just didn't watch you because you're just awful. And I went, oh right. And he said, I went to somewhere else. He said, I could not believe it when you walked on. He said, but you did something. He said, you did something. I don't know what it was. And he said, it clicked. He said, I just suddenly got it. He said, I suddenly got that there isn't anything to get. And that's the joke. There isn't any jokes, right? The joke is that it's just nonsense, right? Yeah. And he said, and ever since then, he said, I've been to about 3 or 4 of your theatre shows now. He said, I come and see you all the time. He said, I completely get it. He said, but when you don't get it, he said, it's the most frustrating thing because you just go in, it's just shit. So I know I split rooms. I know a lot of people will just sit there going, but I think it's when you realise there's nothing to get. It's start when people say, I don't get what you do. I go, because there isn't anything to get. There's no gag. The gag is that it's nonsense.
Yeah.
You either come on the ride or you don't come on the ride. It's as simple as that. It's not for you then, is it? If you don't like it, it's just not for you, which is fine because that's. But for me, the thing was when I started, I was very commercial. I was very much, hey, what's it like when you're on a plane and who's this walking up the garden path? Why, it's Frank Spencer. Imagine if can you imagine if Ronald Reagan was running a McDonald's? It's just bollocks, just shit. And then I did a gig and I kind of came back. I was very depressed and I came back and I did this gig in Dubai. And I did all this stuff about call to prayer and they have like secret police there. I was in so much trouble. I mean, big trouble, right? Because I was saying, I said, I get the call to prayer. I said, if there is a God, right? I shouldn't have said that. I said, but do you think 5 times a day, he's trying to get something done and all of a sudden he's going to try and have a kip. And all of a sudden it kicks off, right? He goes, he must be thinking to himself, Jesus, he goes, the world spins. I've got the Christians of Cornwall going to start ringing bells in a minute. Not the right thing to have said. So the next gig we did, I just did this whole thing where I used to do this routine and I used to turn around and talk to myself with one little joke and I didn't stop. I carried on and I continued to talk at the wall with 2 voices saying about how I couldn't say anything because this whole country's corrupt and all that, and then turn around like nothing had happened. And then this guy, Ben Norris, said to me after, he went, that thing you're doing. And I went, yeah, I know, I shouldn't have done it really. He went, no, you really should. So I kept doing it and died with it. And then I did a play called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of Debt, which is a random piece. And that cobbled with all of everything else that I'd read and gone on, I suddenly went, I'm going to do this. And if people don't want to know, they don't want to know. And if they do, they do. And that's since 2005, here we are. So you're right. It does take for some people to go, what the fuck? What is he? Blue monkey called Bobo. What are you talking about?
It started because I was looking for clips to or when we do our stuff on Twitter, put like a little video package of you together. So I was looking for little clips, and I just stumbled across some of your stand-up bits. But by the end, the one with like the feet and the flip-flops.
Oh, the shoes.
That got me. That.
So and if you revisit them, you'll see, you'll go, oh right. The other problem you got with telly as well sometimes when you do stuff like. They don't edit in a way where there's a lot of callback, so you get the callback edited, they just put the callback in, and you'll be going, that makes no sense.
Doesn't,
even by my standards, you're going, no, even I know that does make sense, even though it makes no sense. There is method in my madness, So you're at the lap of the gods sometimes, but then So there you are. You've seen all the Danny Dyer things as well, haven't you? The Will Football Factories. You've never seen the Will Football Factories?
don't think so. I might have done, but it was a long time
You're
ago.
flipping love those.
I don't think
Me and Danny had a falling out. We did the V Festival. I was doing some stuff at Virgin at the time. He and I had a falling out. Tama was trying to sort of calm things down, and he just fucking mugged me off. Basically, it was all because I took the piss out of him at some Essex polo thing. Right? I didn't know who he was at the time, so I was going. Ironically, I said, "Oh, he's probably in EastEnders." Shock. So I had a right to reply, right, because it was all on camera. So I got home and I saw the real football practice, and I said to my mate Lee, I said, "Look, right, tomorrow we're going to go in and get the cameras. We're going to just fucking do a piss take this, right? We're going to do we're going to make the credits look like it." So one of them was called Felton, right? It all started at Felton. That's what I think about this place, right? Then they just escalate. My favourite one is Sunderland. They're fucking mad. They're great. Watch them. Some of them went a bit shit because Virgin, as all big corporates do, started going, "Oh, they sent us over to do the World Cup," and then they started telling us how they wanted us to do it. Now we go, now it got all washed out. You know, it lost. It's all the whole anarchy got lost.
Yeah.
But they were paying the money, so I had to do that. But yeah, find the Danny Dyers, man. They're
Yeah. I'll have a look. So was he on EastEnders with you when that?
Yes. So I turn up, right, and I know Danny's coming in, and I'm like, oh man. And there's a little room when you start, just opposite all the where they, you know, make all the costumes and what have you. There's a little room where when you start, you all go in there and you talk to the wardrobe ladies and gentlemen. And I walked past and he was sitting there on his phone, no one in there. And I said, I suppose we might as well get this over and done with now. He went, I told you. It's fucking funny. I never said it wasn't funny. It's funny. Just don't do it again. You know. And yeah, I get on really well with Danny. He's a good lad. He's a lovely boy, actually. So, you know, he knows how to play Danny Dyer. That's where he's a genius. He knows how to play Danny Dyer.
Yeah.
He's a good lad. He's a very nice lad.
Yeah, definitely.
So there you are.
Obviously, like you say, all your stand-up's been cancelled and all that, but have you got any other work lined up, sort of thing, or is it all?
No, like I said to you, people are doing it online. I might try and do one for my mate Kevin in Galway. I might do, but no, even because I'm the voice of certain commercials, and even they've stopped, so I can't. I'm not even earning any money by doing them. So that's a knock-on effect for everybody, isn't it? You know, so that shuts, then I'm now shut down as well because they're not going to be selling burgers. So there's no point in me doing the voices for it. So, you know, they'll give you a clue. So yeah, that's what keeps me afloat, doing ads for telly and doing because I can do loads of silly voices. So, you know, but that's it. Yeah, nothing apart from that. I'm just in my pants.
Did the voiceover on a Southend DVD once, didn't you?
Oh, that was the best. That was the best. Because they said to me, "We want to do something a bit different," and I said, "Well, I'm not going to do it straight." And they went, "No, we thought, you know, just put that." So I wrote a whole voiceover where I refused to call Colchester, so I called them the Zoo Boys. That was a great thing because every time Darryl Flahavan let a goal in, he'd do this with his hand, right? And they go, "Here it comes, Darryl Flahavan and his imaginary stone." I'd love to hear that, but it's awful. But I did it.
I've still got
well,
it.
mate, you've got to give me a copy. I did it.
I'll send you it.
And of course, in good Southend style, you know, they said, "Well, you know, because I used to do the end of season things, and they give me a couple of season tickets." So I go, "All right, fine, that's nice of you." And then they said, "Well, you got your season tickets." So I did it. I did the DVD for nothing, which is fine. It's not a problem. You know, I was honoured. And that all went horribly wrong because there was a guy took over in commercial. He's on my phone as Gary. That's what he's called. So every time he rang me, and what it was, I would always do it right, and I was in a bit of a predicament. You know, I was kind of in show business. Sometimes it's feast and famine, right, in peaks and troughs and all that, because you can be flush and go, "God, we've got loads of money. What a great time we're having, right? Let's book another holiday." And then you can be going, "I can't even afford a Coca-Cola," right? That's how it can be. And I was booked to do the end of season ball, which I always did. This wasn't about 2 season tickets. I'd do it anyway. I just loved it. I loved it. I've got a story about that in a minute. Remind me, right? But I was asked to go and do a gig at Wickham, right? And I hate doing football gigs, right? I hate them. I used to do quite a lot for Palace. I hate doing them, right? Because football fans, you know, they can be like, And I got to this gig and I was getting paid really well for it. And I said I had to pull out. And I'm in this Gary lost his shit. He goes, you can't do that to me, fella. You can't do that to me. You've sold this on your name. Sold this. What, you sold the Southend end of season dinner on my name? What have I got to do with it? I'm just some stupid fan who pops on telly now and again. It's got nothing to do with me being here. This is sold because people want to see the players that have played all season. No, you fucked me, fella. You fucked me. Fucked me. And I remember he just fucking made so much trouble for me. And he was friends with the people at Wickham as well. And he made loads of trouble for me on the gig. The gig was a disaster. It was all those things where you go, I've let Southend down, right? And now, of course, I'm going to have a terrible gig. It's like when Scott Alton got sold to Orient. Of course, he's going to score the winner against us in the next game, which he did. You know, it was one of those situations. But let me tell you this is a great story. So, 2 Rob Newman stories, right? I put out about him being Buzz Lightyear, right? And he's like, don't say about.
Oh, that was you.
Yes, I started the Buzz Lightyear thing, right? And he goes, I can't believe you've done that. I did it. I was on some news program somewhere and saying, oh, I know what it was. It was the thing that Les Ferdinand used to do, Football Sunday, and I used to do that on Sundays. And I remember being on with that kid, that Finnish kid from. I'd love to see that. There was a kid, a funny, eccentric guy that used to play for Palace, and he was Finnish. Can't remember his name. And me and him get the giggles, like they can't cut to us on camera. All they keep, and they just staying on Les and the female host. They can't come to me and him. They can't ask us any questions. He and I are completely gone. I love it. And all I can remember is Les just keep looking at me going, couldn't breathe, right? So anyway, I mentioned the Buzz Lightyear on there, and he's going to me, everyone's calling me Buzz Lightyear. Because all these years, I want to be a football manager, and people sing, there's only one Rob Newman, and they're all singing, there's only one Buzz Lightyear, right? Anyway, this is the best bit. Excuse me, I'm burping. It's so fucking brilliant. So you remember Scotty Falls? Were you going when Scott Falls?
Yeah.
Right, the Scott Falls, he's a lovely boy, right? They call him Village, you know that, right? They call him Village idiot. And they call him Village. Yeah, it's true. They call him Village. And here's one example. When they were going to Ireland, Kevin Mayer sorted out this trip to Ireland. They're all going at Christmas and something. And he said, make sure, you bring photo ID for the flight. And Scott Falls took a programme with him on the front of it. He's like, oh, passport off, or a driving licence. He got a programme. Anyway, right? So I'm with Rob Newman, right? And this is one of the big Southend dudes. This is the one when I was outside trying to put a fire out with Ron Martin, because one of the generators caught fire. And there's me and Ron Martin trying to put a fire out. Right? True. Anyway, he said to me before the do, he goes, I'm gonna, Scotty Forbes is going, so-and-so's going, so-and-so else is going, I'm gonna try and bring in. He brought in Jonesy. Remember Graham Jones came in, his mate, who now is your man's right-hand man, isn't he? Who's the Spanish manager? Who was at Everton and whatever.
He was Luton manager.
Oh,
Jonesy. Graham Jones is always with him. Lovely boy.
I know. What's his name? Roberto Martinez.
Yes, his right-hand man is Jonesy, right? And I remember when Jonesy scored, he got so much shit from our fans. When he actually scored, he went like that up to everyone. Not a good idea. He actually scored. It was hilarious. I used to see Rob in the dugout going, and he kept going, Jonesy going to score loads of goals, right? He didn't score any goals, but. And then he let your man go. He said, when he let it was Johnson. Who was that lovely kid Johnson, the bald black kid? Do you remember him? Leon Johnson. And he went, and then Rob went to me, if he gets another club, I'll give you 100 quid. And then he went on, didn't he? Went on to something like Palace or something. I was going, where's the 100?
Yeah, he had a decent career.
He did. Rob thought he was crap. Anyway. So anyway, he goes, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's going to go. He's going to get bombed, all that kind of. So it's a Southend United do, and we're doing the awards. And I said, what a great season we've had. I said, it's been fantastic. I think Darryl might have won the award. Well done to everybody. Players Award, the Management Award. It's been wonderful. What a great season we've had. We have to say some goodbyes, of course. Let's give him a big round of applause. What a wonderful servant he's been to the club. Ladies and gentlemen, he's sadly leaving us. Give him a round of applause to Scott Forbes, right? And everyone's clapping. And Rob He's cutting me. He's cutting his, because you can't see what I'm doing because obviously it's on audio. He's cutting across his neck as if to go, shut up. He hasn't told him. So effectively, I sacked him.
You released.
Just watching him and going, what are you doing? And afterwards, he's one of those people, Rob, where he's not angry. He's got a big overbite and he's trying to be serious, but he's laughing at the same time because I haven't told him. And I was like, oh, mate, what? You're joking. He goes, no, I haven't told him.
You released Scott Forbes.
I released Scott Forbes.
That's amazing.
Oh, mate, I've done that thing as well. Do you remember that famous Booker Prize thing? Do you remember that when that bloke thought he'd won it, but he wasn't? He was being introduced to give it away. Did you ever see that? It's on YouTube. Booker Prize. It's really embarrassing. It's a bit like what happened to the Oscars as well when, you know, that film was supposed to have won, wasn't it? But it wasn't. It was LA.
Yeah.
Well, I did that once. There was another Scott Forbes. I did that once. I just said to I said, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Steve King or whatever. He's going mad. This guy's going mad. I'm going in, mate, you haven't won it. You haven't won it. He's going, what? He goes all serious. Like, it's like, I thought he was going to cry. He goes, what? I mean, you haven't won it. You got announced the prize. So he then had to give away the prize. He had it in his hand that he thought was his. He had to give it. God. Yeah, Scott Forbes. Then he turned up, didn't he? Last couple of games before the end, they brought some old players back, didn't they? And he was sitting just in front of me. I thought, I'm going to say, he shaved all his hair off. But, yeah.
He must remember that.
Yeah, he must remember it. Of course, he must.
Yeah, must remember that.
I just thought of another player, Drew. Do you remember Drew Broughton?
Yeah,
Drew Broughton.
I remember Drew.
I tell you, another player I was gutted with, and I never understood why we ever got rid of Corgasm. I reckon we should have kept him for another year. I love Barry Cole.
No, brilliant.
Yeah,
Barry Cole.
From
Barry Cole.
What it looks like, we were just mucking about, weren't we? I don't think we were.
He likes being on the floor, Barry Cole, though, doesn't he? He loved being on the ground. He was like, get up. But then he scored 17 on his last season, I think. Something stupid.
Brilliant player.
But yeah, it just sounded like we didn't make him feel very wanted. And again, there's a theme. In the last sort of 5 or 6 years, there's a lot of them that leave say that.
Do you remember being at Northampton when everyone was booing, as we called him, Big Adam Barrett at the back? What's his name who left us? The big centre back with the bald head looked like a massive Adam Barrett.
Creswell.
Yes. And I remember him turning to the fans and going, because he was like, I wanted to stay. You kicked me out. You know, the management kicked me out. I wanted to stay, man. And I remember him turning around at Northampton, looking at all the away fans, and giving him shit, going, "What?"
It's football fans wind me up, to be honest, because like,
Scott Bolger's song, funny though, wasn't it? He used to be shy, but now he's all right. Yeah, fans are funny, aren't they? I mean, fans.
It's like they don't seem to understand that not every player has got like that deep connection to the club because like they're not from the area or whatever.
No.
But, like, so they've got their own shit going on, and yeah, sometimes they may want to leave to like get closer to home or whatever because they might have kids, like they might have a wife, like whatever that goes on at home. But I think even Creswell come out and said that whole.
He said that was a load of bullshit. He said
it was
bullshit because the scandal was that he ended up at Northampton. He ended up at Northampton. So everyone's going, I thought you wanted to go home. But, you know, he was like...
Did he not go to Fleetwood first? Did he not go to Fleetwood in between?
He went to Fleetwood and then he came down and played for Northampton.
Yeah, so I think he's from... Is he from Sheffield? Yeah, he's from Sheffield. So Sheffield down to Southend. Sheffield, it's the same distance that way, isn't it? He's Rotherham, isn't it?
But he basically he wanted to leave. Well, he said, "I've got to leave because he wasn't being paid on time."
That may be the point. But the thing I did is he didn't want to leave. Maybe that's where I'm getting missed. Maybe that's where I'm missing.
Yeah, no. He did come out and say that he was like, if it was all fine, he said I would have stayed. Basically, it was a shambles.
But
that would force you around, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So
I tell you players that weren't nice though for the club. Jerome Bourne, do you remember him?
I can't think of that. It's another name.
I remember Phil Gridley used to say to me, he goes, you know, love or hate Phil, you know, it doesn't matter what you thought of Phil Gridley. He loved it. He loves Southend United. He loves it. And believe it or not, he tried his best for that club, right? He honestly did. He loves Southend. And he used to ring that and go, see Jerome Bourne? And I go, yeah. And he goes, I'm going to punch his face in. Because he used to just stand in the shower going about how shit this club is. I'm getting paid this and that. I don't care if I fucking score goals. And I was like, ugh. And then, of course, look what happened to him.
He's dead now.
Dead and got knifed in the eye as well.
Lost an eye first, yeah. Then he
got knifed in the eye.
Then got
China. Yeah. Speaking ill of the dead now. He was 39. Not that I know about people at their ages when they die. Jesus. When someone dies, you always go, what was wrong with them? You have to find out what they died of, don't they? Just so you can think, well, what were the symptoms for that? Have I got that? Have I got it?
That was like when I first started to hear that some younger people were dying with this coronavirus, and I was like, right, were they healthy? Like, were they? Then you find out a few of everyone else. They were like,
but you don't know though. The thing is, you don't know. Do you? You don't know. Yeah. So you can say, well, I'm going to be all right. But they were telling me that they'd had she said, younger people die in their 40s and 50s. I was like, great. Yeah, but they didn't. They were fine, absolutely fine. And then the next day, no, they've died of it. And she was saying because they didn't know they had problems with their lungs and heart.
It's like the couple of footballers that, because they're running the tests on the Prem and Championship players now, that a couple of Hull players have tested positive, and I don't know if it's. I think there's a guy at Watford who's also come up positive, and he was like, "I feel absolutely fine. Like I've got no symptoms, but I've got it." Yeah, and they're the dangerous ones because they're the ones that
they
won't,
pass it on. Well,
they won't go and isolate.
That's the problem. It's clandestine, isn't it? That's the problem with it. Where most people, when you get something, you'll have a bit of a sniffle. You go, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. With that, it can just hide in you. It's hidden away, and you can pass it on. And I think that's the scary thing about it. I mean, it's nature's thinning out, isn't it? I mean, you've got to fight against nature. It's getting rid of the weaker. I mean, that sounds awful, but I mean, if you're going to bare bone it, to put it bluntly, that is what it is. And maybe I'll be one of the weak ones as well. I don't know. Hopefully not. But so it's an awful shame. It's a sad situation. But
it's a weird one because I know someone like a family friend who, at this sort of about a year ago, they were trying to get their dads into a nursing home, and basically there was no homes in the area that had room. Basically, they're all full up. Now one of them's actually shut down because they've not got enough people in there because they've all died because of this virus.
Yeah, well, I did think that. I thought that. I've got a friend who runs those nursing homes, and I was thinking, this is a terrible way of thinking it. But I was just thinking about how financially damaging this all is. But actually, ironically, nursing homes, if it wipes everybody out, they're going
to be first to go.
Nursing homes are going to go under, aren't they? And so when it's over, where are old people going to go when there's no nursing homes?
It was a horrible thing. We've had some work deliveries redirected to home recently, and big TNT truck pulled up outside our house one day last week
and blew up,
full of coffins.
TNT joke.
It's full of coffins. It's just what's
joking?
Getting delivered to the funeral directors. Can't make coffins quick enough right now.
Well, do you know there was a conspiracy, wasn't there? I don't know if you ever saw this, but I on Instagram, I like to follow those, like weird things. Did you ever know that this happened in 1855? And they fell from a tree and then survived, and just weird shit. But it's not even weird that. Anyway, one of them about 3 years ago was stockpiling of coffins.
Yeah, I saw that.
They were stockpiling thousands of these coffins, but were sealed coffins, like you would use for a plague.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you remember it?
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then this, I think it's a massive coincidence. It's like that. Have you seen that thing on Netflix?
Contagion.
The Chinese thing. Have you seen the Asian thing?
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
That is,
no, I know what you mean. Yeah, the
44 minutes on season 10, and you go, and you go.
There's another one as well. There's a Matt Damon film on Netflix called Contagion. By the way, I'm not sure what Matt Damon's doing in it because he's got about 3 lines and he's in about 3 scenes. but the film, trust me, the film is what we're living right now. The plot for that film is what we're living right now. It's insane. And it's about 10 years old. I think it came out about 2009, 2010, and it's exactly what we're living now. It's freaky.
Well, I'm going to watch it. Did you ever see the film French Kiss with Gina Davis?
No.
Right, French Kiss. Quick plot breakdown. She's a mum, stay-at-home mum, right? One day she starts chopping, but she's really handy with a knife, right? She's got amnesia. And then she starts to realise that she was this great agent. She was like a flipping assassin, right? So she goes back to chase her old nemesis, right? And then she catches up with him, right? And she says, well, what are you planning to do? He said, what are we planning to do? We're planning to blow up the World Trade Center, right? And then we're going to blame the Muslims like we always do. Long before 9/11.
Oh, gee.
Blow up the World Trade Center and blame the Muslims like we always do. And I remember sitting there watching it. Goes, anyone else notice that? Yeah, find it. You've got to find it. You'll believe me when you see it. And that's long before 9/11. So.
No, I imagine it being the same sort of thing, because I remember I was sitting watching that film with my mum and dad, and I was looking, I was like, this is a bit too coincidental now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit too much.
What's that Dustin Hoffman film Outbreak as well? Well, that's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I know of it. Yeah, I've not seen it.
He goes, it's airborne. That's the bit. And then you get someone coughing it going like that. It's airborne. Contagious. I'll watch it.
It's decent. Well, it's saying that, if you'd watched it when it came out, it'd probably be a bit shit. But now, obviously, we seem to be living the plot for this film. It was
some sort of weird sort of 5D movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Aidan? You look just like the producer, because I thought you were when you came on. You look exactly like John, the producer for Hawksby and Jacobs.
I haven't got a clue who that is.
You look just like him. You know H&J?
Yeah.
You look just like John. When you first came on, I went, what's John doing? I was trying to get a photograph to you.
Yeah, send it over.
Yeah, you'll go, it could be your brother. If you said you two were brothers, you go, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. If and when it happens, well, it's going to happen at some point. What are your hopes for next season? We're going to be in League Two, I mean, let's face it. Well, probably.
I don't mind going down there as long as Colchester don't come up. There's something to look forward to. There'll be Orient. There'll be the great games like your North-South League thing.
I'm up for that. I'm up for North and South.
I'm up for that. And the other things, to play Orient is always great fun because we can all sing the same diss at each other. It's the only game I know where both sets of fans sing, you will support West Ham, you will support. And they go, oh, you will support West Ham. So I love that. And then Colchester, obviously, which I don't think is quite as horrible as it used to be anymore, really, that game. When I was a kid, that was a really nasty game. But the last time we played, do you remember that stupid fat kid running on and punching one of their fat fans? Do you remember that? And everyone said, what are you doing, you idiot? It's like it's become funny now. It's become a bit of a joke rivalry, I think. They have more of a beef with Wickham than they do with us.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
They have a big Wickham beef. So, they'll be two great games. They always are. And I still haven't been to their new Layer Road.
Oh, have you not been to it?
No, what's it called? Western
Holmes Community Stadium.
Doesn't quite ring as well as Western Holmes is falling down. It's not quite as good as Layer Road is falling down. Poor old Collier. I still love singing that. Oh, mate, yeah. So
I do think Orient is the rivalry.
Yeah, I think Orient is much more of a rivalry, and I'm totally with you on that.
I'm not quite sure why either, but yeah, I've just always
because it isn't a rivalry. I remember there was a football commentator last year going, and of course the big derby rivalry today, Colchester Orient. I was like, what? Well, Essex versus East London. I was thinking about doing a joke about it when you see the Danny Dyer piss takes I was doing. I was thinking about, because the voiceovers are ridiculous, and I was thinking about doing that COVID-19, a nasty little firm from East London. First started in the Orient. Started at the Orient, nasty little firm in East London. Anyway, but that would be great. The only good thing, and then just wipe our mouths and get on with it again, and
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, maybe a new regime and a new ground, but it'll be what it'll be. I'm going to be completely snobby about football. I hate that league. I can't stand that league. It's rubbish. The referees are terrible. You know, everything about it is just rubbish, you know.
Yeah.
And you've got a team that wants to play football. I remember saying to Phil Brown about that season. I think it was the season where we came a point short? Might have been that season where we just lost those last few games.
Yeah.
But I said to him, was it the season before? Anyway, I said to him, you know, it's funny, isn't it? You know how we've had a run of really good games when we win, because he was playing some decent football, you know, even though a lot of it was still Paul Sturrock's team. And then you realise that then we'd have a draw or we'd lose, and the teams we'd lose to people like Newcastle or someone like that, they had shit grounds, shit pitches, you know, and that's really annoys me. I want to watch a game that's going to be flowing, and some of those grounds are just, oh man.
Yeah.
Having said that, Macclesfield, I remember going to Macclesfield once, and my friend Justin Morehouse went to me. I was doing a comedy store in Manchester. He goes, can't believe it. He goes, what? He goes, because he was friends with, can't remember what player it was now. Might have been Brown. He goes, he got us tickets. He goes, I've got us tickets tomorrow. I got Ipswich Man United. Fucking great, eh? And I'm going, no, I can't go. And he went, what do you mean you can't fucking go? I said, I'm going to Macclesfield. He went, why? Why you fucking go to Macclesfield? And I went, the South End are playing Town. He went, you're fucking joking, you know? And I went, no. He goes, I've got a box. Man U, Ipswich, box, dinner. I went, I'm going to Macclesfield. I went to Macclesfield. And I remember seeing the referee there. It was hilarious. He was like a massive version of me. He was a bald guy. It was about 7 foot, and he was enormous. And no one messed with him. No fucking one messed with him. If he said it was a free kick, man, every player went, okay, fine. I'll put the ball there if you like. You know, yeah, I remember it. But I remember their pitch being immaculate. Beautiful pitch it was.
Yeah.
So there you go.
What we do though, it's. I'm up for it for a year. A year's fine, but I mean, we're going to be there for more than a year. So. Yeah,
well, I just don't like that league, and I'm being a snob. I hate that league. I hate it. But
it is. I know what you mean.
He's got to sort that. It's just because now when I think about it, I'm doing, rubbing my eyes because I know. It's a frustrating mess, isn't it? It's like one of those catch-22 where you've got to sort this out to make that work, but if you don't sort that out, blah, blah, blah. And that whole mess of Campbell and everything is just, yes. He's very tall. For a 13-year-old. Look at the size of it. Yes.
This Sainsbury's in Ilford.
Yes.
2 kids got stabbed there last night in serious condition.
Oh, we're back again, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, it's back. So that's it. Coronavirus, all the stabbings about it. He's brilliant. I avoid the news. Don't read newspapers, mental health and all that kind of thing. Always had problems with it. So keep away from bad news. Every morning it'll wake me up and go, never going to believe this. What? So when this was all started, he goes, it's going to be a pandemic. I went, no, there's not. Well, there is. So now he's telling me he loves telling me, he goes, knifing. There's been some knives, more knives. Stupid. So there you go. So next season, it's always the way, and it will start off moaning. It'll be summer, and then as we build up to Christmas, and if we're doing all right, then we'll forget that we're in League Two probably, and just go, well, we're winning games. If you're winning games, and look at Sunderland fans, they get excited because they're in our league, but they're winning games. By the way, their fans were really nice, weren't they? Did you notice that?
Well, I thought they were all right, yeah.
Oh, what do you mean?
They were really, really nice. They just talked to you after. They were just very. Yeah. I thought they were unbelievably friendly.
Yeah, when we went up there, I thought it was really chatty. So we went up there twice, didn't we? For the
yes. Yeah.
Really, really friendly.
Yeah.
We went up there for the weekend this year.
What's the worst for you ever? I mean, I tell you the worst ever I went to. No one told me about the underpass at Molineux, did they? I went down the underpass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Wolves was a bit grim.
I was absolutely covered in spit. Because as you go down, they all flow over the top.
Yeah.
It's quite an intimidating place to go.
I never forget running to the ground. Me and James were never late, or we were always bang on time. I remember going once. We went to the old Reading ground, and it was the longest 5 minutes ever. We had 5 minutes to get there. We were miles away, and somehow we still made it. But I remember West going to Molineux, and we got stuck 4-1. I think. Oh no, 4-0. I think it was 3 or 4-0. And I remember running to the ground, and I could hear outside the ground putting the ticket, and I could hear. and thinking, shit, they've scored, and then running up the tunnel, eventually kind of getting in, getting a drink, and then hearing, and they scored again. And then me going sitting in my chair and they fucking scored again. It was unbelievable. And I think that might have been the game where Leon Roger got in a fight with their fans. He was warming up and then he just started punching the fans. Were you at the game? You're too young. Were you at the game when Roger got sent off? And it was Jerome Bora, funny enough, who'd caused it, right? And
I remember this.
It was a black referee.
Yeah.
A black referee sent off. So Roger was standing on the post, nowhere near the incident. He got a black and white man muddled up, and he's the same referee that was always in the paper going, I don't get put for Premier League games because of my colour. And I remember reading it going, it's got nothing to do with your colour. You're awful. Nothing to do with your colour. You're fucking awful. That's what it's got to do with it. Because you sent off a black man when it was a white man. It was the most. I remember him just sitting there going, "What's going on?"
How are you getting that mixed up?
Roger going, he was going because he was standing on the post waiting for the corner. Next thing you know, he's got a red card. He's like, "What? What have I done? I've done nothing." funny boy he was, man. He started boxing, I think. He started boxing.
He did.
He's a funny lad. He is good fun. He is good fun. Cheeky.
Yeah.
So anyway, what grounds have you really hated? Just out of interest.
Grounds have I hated.
You've just gone, my God, Luton.
No, do you know what? I don't actually mind the ground itself. I don't actually mind. It's a bit of a I'm going there, but
are you tall or short?
I'm short.
Yeah,
you're right in those seats.
Yeah, but I'm. It doesn't matter for me. But I, for some reason, because I'm short, can't stand Wimbledon. Because if you're not at the front, you can't see a fucking.
Yeah, Wimbledon's not a great ground, is it?
No.
Kingsonian ground. No, it's not the best.
Gillingham, it's got that temporary stand that's been there for about 20 years.
That stand is mean. That's like deadly. That's going to go under.
It's dangerous, isn't it? It's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know how they get away with that. It does sway when you're on it. There's a gentle sway on it.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
I won't say there's many I hate as such, but yeah, they're
yeah, it's similar things to what you said about being at Wimbledon. If you're exactly as you said, if you're not at the front, you might as well just turn around and
I also feel that Millwall kind of get away with that. They're quite racist, aren't they? Millwall? They seem to get away with it. I can hear it, and I'm like going, "You're just getting away with this." So, did you go to one when Anton was getting? Were you at that Millwall game? We beat them. And your man got sent off by the referee. It was what's his name? The Premier League referee. It was awful, but he sent off. Who did he send off for us? But then when you watched it back, it wasn't sending off.
Can't
remember. Anyway,
was this at their place?
Yeah, and they were singing. There's only one John Terry and all that too.
Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah, I've been to Millwall quite a few times.
Yeah, because I've been recently.
When he left, it was fantastic because he just turned around and he walked up.
That's yeah.
He did the West Ham.
That was it was after the game, wasn't it?
That was funny. That was.
Yeah,
I don't mind that because he's taken a little bit. He's given a little bit back, and I'm all for that.
I'm all for that. But there was a lot. Where I was sitting, I could hear just non-stop racial stuff.
Oh yeah. I'm not obviously for that.
But anyway, we look. I've spoken to like you speak to John Barnes. He doesn't. I don't get what he doesn't bother him that anyway. He says all part and parcel of it all. But I told him a story about when I went to the old den. I went with my mate, kid called Robbie McGregor, and we were standing on the halfway line, right, the old den, and they're unbelievable Millwall fans when you're around them. They do that Zulu thing when they start doing that.
Yeah,
that's intimidating. That, and. I remember John Barnes ran out the wing, and then obviously there were times people throwing bananas at him and all that. And then I remember Bruce Grobbler running from his goal, ran all the way over, picked up one of the bananas, ran back, peeled it, and then got up on the crossbar, feet of strength, like a monkey, swinging, and started eating the banana during the game. And of course he's because he's Zimbabwean, isn't he? So to him that was like just the biggest insult. So it was. Great way to answer it. He just went, well, fuck you, I'll give you the monkey if you want. I'm the monkey. Unbelievable.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's reared its head again, isn't it? The racism. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know if it has or not, or it just gets caught more. You know what I mean?
Maybe it just gets caught more. Yeah, maybe because, like I said earlier, the social media era that we're in, people are constantly on their
I wouldn't
phones.
say there's been anything. I might be wrong, but I wouldn't say there's been anything that's changed that in society as such. Really, you know what I mean, that's not. No.
And there was the couple, wasn't there, earlier? I think it was even in pre-season. There was the story one that come out of Southend that one of the, I think it was Elvis, wasn't it? The player that was supposedly getting it. I wasn't there. I don't tend to bother with friendlies too much anymore. But yeah,
I can't imagine him. He wouldn't be lying though, because he's a nice kid, isn't he?
Oh no, that's what I mean. So I'm like, if this is going to start coming in now.
How good has he come? Good. Oh, here's one for you. Here's a discussion we can have. Cipriano. Harry Cipriano. What is with that? He was doing really all right, and then he gets injured. Now, what is he just at the club? And why doesn't he get his dad and his uncle to buy the fucking place? Because his dad's best friend is Theo Pathesis. You know that?
Yeah. I think he was out injured for that long. That Achilles injury. He was doing all right. I like him. I quite like him as well. I certainly think he's got more of a future ahead of him as a centre half rather than a left back. Yeah. Just because of his physical presence, he looks more like a centre half than a left back. And I agree. I quite like him.
I mean, he was doing great. I was just like going, oh, what is going on with him? I mean, what is his injury been? It's just terrible for him.
I think he ripped his Achilles, ruptured his Achilles. So yeah, I think it was and then I think he broke down a little bit in a comeback. I don't think he tried to come back too soon. I think it was all sort of on schedule, and then it just something.
It might be one of those things where it's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's injury like with the Canadian English kid. What was his name at Man United? God, I can't remember his name.
Oh, Hargreaves.
Yeah, Hargreaves.
That's right.
He used to come around here all the time. My neighbour used to be Paul Stalteri. He was a good mate of mine, actually. Paul Stalteri used to live next door to me. We played with Tottenham right back and Fulham. And he's a Canadian international, so Hargreaves used to come around quite a lot. And he was around all the time because he couldn't play. And then Paul kept saying to me, he's not going to come back, man. And then he had that one game, didn't he, where he was on for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Must be so Yeah, it must be so frustrating because he was good as well. When he played, he was good.
Yeah, it must be horrible. But being, like Owen, great players that are just blighted by injury, just horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think
I suppose that I suppose we'll keep hold of a few players, won't we, next season?
Looks like we're going to keep hold of all these young lads that have come in, which I'm actually all for that. I'm all for that, like using the academy. I don't really see the point in the academy if you're not going to have big players to bring them through. We've had a very impressive conveyor belt of goalkeepers. So let's see what else. I really like the left back, Clifford. I think he looks very good.
Yeah.
There's a few that you can tell, they've been chucked in a little bit too early. But, let's have a look. Let's see if there's anything to work with. And I certainly think none of them look shit. Let's put it that way. I think there's certainly something to work with all of them.
All the games I watched this season, last season, this season, until they've gone a goal down, they've looked really good. They shit themselves. They go a goal down and they don't know what to do.
Confidence.
And there's been so many games going, how are we losing so many games? Of course, when the goal goes in, they just fall apart. They just completely fall apart.
Yeah, and there were so many times that the second goal would follow the first one within 5 minutes.
Exactly. And that's where you need someone, I imagine, like Milligan, really needs to be vocal. You need those older boys to step up and go, get hold of everybody. And, I don't know if that's in the team. I don't know if that is in the team. I don't know if there's a
I don't think it has been. But
he was someone... Spencer Pryor or something there.
Yeah. Milligan was beginning to look a bit better in the handful of games before the lockdown, where he was playing with, it could be these kids' dad. Let's be honest. He's old enough to be some of their dads. He was starting to look a bit better. maybe it was because he was quite clearly the senior pro, so they were actually listening to him. Yeah. Whereas maybe he was trying to do these things early on in the season, but everyone was just going, oh, fuck off, man.
Yeah. Yeah, with Coxie going as well, I didn't think he'd last with Sol Cameron.
No.
As soon as he came in, I thought Coxie's going, man. He's not having this. Yeah. There's going to be a massive clash there.
Yeah.
Shame.
Which happens, though. I mean, it happens to any manager, I guess. You know, that could have been anyone.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. It happens in any business, doesn't it? All lines of business. You know, especially my game, it's exactly the same. You could be the flavour, and then someone else comes in as a controller, and that's it. You're finished.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But you can be in something like, you know, like EastEnders, for example. You can be in that, and the boss changes, and they don't like your character or you. Bye.
Yeah.
Well, you're off.
Yeah, you're off. You're off in your cab with Bianca.
You weren't killed off, were you? You rolled off into the sunset.
I went to Milton Keynes with Bianca and the kids. But the reason that came about is because I didn't even want to be in EastEnders, right? Let me just clarify that. Julia Cramsey, who cast it, she texted me and said, "Do you want to come in and talk about doing EastEnders?" And I went, "No." She said, "I'm coming up to Edinburgh for 2 days." She said, "I've got to cast this part because the new boss coming in. They've already cast this guy. It's going to be called Bill, and he's another horrible character for Bianca. And the guy that's coming in doesn't want that. She wants him to finally have someone nice, right?" So I went, "I don't want to be in EastEnders." Right? And she said, "Just come and meet me," right? So I went, "Okay." And I was doing a play at the time. We were doing the Shawshank Redemption. And I said, "I'm meeting you near the theatre where I'm doing the play." I said, "And straight after I've got to do my gig." So I took a spoon with me, right? And I sat down and threw the spoon on the table. And I said, "That's for you." She said, "What's that?" I said, "I'd rather poke my own eyes out of that than be in this." She said, "Oh, come on, don't be like that." Anyway, she talked me into it, and the rest was history, of course. But Patsy would spend a lot of time saying she was going to do this, she was going to do that. And then one day I'd been off for a couple of days, and I came in, she went, "I'm going to America." And I went, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm going to go to LA. I'm finished here. I'm just going to go." She said, "I was supposed to renew my contract, but I told them me and Richard are just going to go." And I was like, "What? You didn't tell them 3 months or 6 months ago. You told them on the day of contract. So now their storylines are screwed, and I'm finished." And she goes, "No, I'd like you." And I went, No. We're all going. You know, get them all out. Of course, I was right. He wrote us all out. And so we went to Milton Keynes, which actually was just round the corner when we filmed the house in Milton Keynes. It's actually right near Boreham Woods Ground. So that was that. And then I was out.
You could get back into it, though. Could get asked to come back.
They could, but I don't. Look, to be honest with you, I didn't want to do it. And when I did do it, it got too cosy. And then, like I said to you, I was saying to myself, I don't want to do stand-up anymore and all that. And once you've been in something like that, you know, it can harm you a little bit. You know, it can be good for you, and it can do one of two things. You know, so I don't think it did either for me. It didn't help me. It didn't really do me any major harm. But what it did do, I needed to get my arse back in the gear and become a comedian again, which is not easy when you're being spoon-fed these scripts. You know, and you just walk out and go, just pretend you've never said it before and go on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's not as good as live performance, though. You know, when you're in a rocking gig, fucking hell, you can't beat that.
No.
Can't beat that, man.
Is that your
amazing thing?
Is that your scoring a goal, is it?
Oh, because of my stuff is so bonkers and so out there, you know, there's only a certain... If you're just telling jokes, you can get big roars and you can get big laughs and you can do that, right? You can do that. But when you're going off on tangents of madness and the audience is with you, because it takes them to come with you, and you go off on those things and everyone, and you can just feel it. And you can just feel it, and it's beautiful. And then you finish, and you know when you finish, it's going to be this massive, you know, outlet of emotion from everyone, me and the audience. You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, you know, and you can't really do that unless you're doing bonkers stuff, because you can't really lift emotion by going, you know, telling jokes about President Trump, eh? What about that? I mean, people do it, and they do it brilliantly, but you're not going to... I like lifting emotion, and, you know, they are few and far between, but when, like you say, when they happen, man, they're like scoring winners.
Yeah,
it's lovely. Yeah, and you crackle. It's beautiful.
We'll have to when it all gets sorted. Then we'll come.
Well, I'll do Southend again. Come and I'll come as my guest. You must come. And I'll do it, and that's always great because it packs out. I'll do the Palace there. It's great, and it's everyone. There's Southend fans in there as well, but they're all the ones that everyone's bonkers. You'll see my eldest, and you'll just go, "This is a loony house, man." It's bonkers city. It's just people dressed up really strange and whatever. It's great fun. It's good.
Wicked.
It's good. Anyway, there you go, boys.
Yeah, no, cheers, mate.
Chatted for so long. I hope that was all right for you.
Mate, considering we didn't really know where we were going to go with that, we've sat here for almost 3 hours.
Well, it's been nice to chat to you both, and it's been interesting. I do, and I hope, like all of us, I hope it just for the world. But I also, I can't wait to get back. I just love going to get his burger and his Yorkie. I love the fact that I come down and he goes, "Where's the water?" And I go, "Fuck me, I've left it up there again." Every time.
I thought it was only my old man that did that.
I know I'm your dad's age now, so I do. All
he comes in with his pie and then he's filling his pockets. He just goes, "I could he's left it on."
It'll happen to you. That's what all old people say, don't they? It'll happen to you. It will happen to you. And then I shake all the hands to all the stewards that I always know, and I sit in my little seat and we get ready, and we always get there really early because I like to get parked, don't want to rush. He loves watching everybody warming up. So we're there when there are like maybe 6 people in the stand. We're like really sad. But he loves it. Go in the club shop, look at all this shit. I bought a gnome last time I was there. We were planning to buy the gnome. No one's buying the gnomes. I thought if I don't buy the gnomes, they're going to get scrapped.
Those gnomes have been there about 15 years. The same batch.
I've got a gnome. I mean, if that was chocolate, that'd fucking kill you. Honestly, I've got no. My office is brilliant. I'll take a photo and I'll email you a photograph.
I'm thinking about turning this into like a little studio.
My office is
some
a
shirts up in there.
I got one of those. Up at just off Lee Broadways. If you come back near the Waitrose and all that, there's a shop. They used to do loads of old disdained football stuff. It's gone now. And Dee, my wife, bought me one of those lovely South. It's like an old-fashioned, road sign.
Oh yeah.
But black with the white. It's all disdained. Beautiful. It says Southend FC. It's just I've got all little things like that in there, and all my shirts and signed shirts.
Yeah,
wicked.
It's like a bloody shrine in there. Picture of Bruce Hall. And the good thing, he loves it as well. He absolutely adores it. So it's brilliant.
No, that's class. That you can pass it all on.
And I love the fact that he goes to school around here, which is full of Tottenham West Ham fans here in Chigwell, and he will turn up in his Southend shirt. You don't give a shit, man.
Yeah.
And I always said to him, "You're the only person walking around in the Southend shirt." Although having said that, when we train at Soccer Sixes, the Power League, quite a few of our kids go down there with their mates, like the East London boys and what have you. So we see loads of Southend, because they all turn up with their Orient and their Southend tracksuits. So we see loads of them all the time. He goes, "Dad, please don't." So I can't resist it. I go, see, no. Dad, what you I remember being on the train not long ago. There's this lovely young kid on there, right? And I saw his tracksuit. It was on the tube, and I shuffled down to him, and I could see this kid, this big old bald bloke, come out. He was only about 15. This kid. I went, "You all right?" And he went, "Yeah." He went, "Yeah." I said, "I'm a good mate of Ricky Duncan's," and you could just see him go, "Not a nonce." It's brilliant. He said, "Well, he just went, oh," and I texted Ricky and said, "You know this kid?" He went, "Yeah, he's a lovely lad." Yeah, brilliant it was. Well done, boys.
Yeah, no, cheers.
Thanks for having me on, man. I really, really appreciate it. It's lovely.
No, that's wicked, mate.
I enjoyed that one.
I think what I'll have to do, because genuinely that was all class. I think I'm going to split this into. We'll do a 2-parter.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and anytime, once we start going again, I'll come. And next time I'll wear my Splat shirt. I might wear them both.
Yeah, all right, yeah, sweet.
I'm jealous.
I wonder how many Splat shirts are around.
Not many.
They're like gold dust. I said before, I'm not sure I ever actually had it, because it was my first season, and back then I was a goalkeeper. All I wanted was goalkeeper kits.
Yeah.
So I had the keeper kit from that season. I'm not sure I ever actually had it, and even if I did, it would never fit me, obviously, because I was.
Well, I know my red one, which is hilarious. My red one down the bottom here, it's got loads of rat burns. So I was obviously puffing loads of solid at the time, because it's just got loads of little burns. I don't smoke draw anymore because I'm completely mental from it, I think. But puffing, I've just got these little rat burns everywhere. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, it's class.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Top stuff, too.
Once it's all blown over, if I see it again, have a beer or something.
We're going to definitely do that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Where do you two sit just before we go? Where are your seats?
I sit, from what I think you said earlier, I sit behind you, I think, where I'm right up the back, where sort of like the parents and the wives will sort of chill.
What, are you like Tilly would always sit up there? Steve Tilson sits up front.
Yeah,
You're right behind me.
Well, to be fair, my season ticket is in the East Yellows, but
Right.
because I'm reasonably tall, I got no leg room when I sit down there.
Right,
So because it's always dead up there, we started about 3 years ago. I think I just stood up there for one game. Sort of got chatting to someone right at the start, never eventually moved, and ever since then I've just stood up the back for like 3 years now.
Well, you know when you come up the kind of bit there, and then you go down the stairs, and you're sitting there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that? If you carry on down, there's a little wooden wall, isn't there? Eventually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before the plastic seats, I sit right on the end, in front of that, and the wooden wall's in front of me.
Have you not moved from?
No, I've been there for years.
There's the bit on the end of the 2005-6 DVD before the Bristol City game. You're on it. Are you in that same seat?
I might have been then, no, but I might have been sitting up in the red then. I was sat in the red for a while with a group up there.
Right.
Because my mate couldn't make it anymore because he was doing it on the races. So I was always sort of a bit of a loner. So I sat with Richard and all that up there. Sit down! I had a bit of a falling out with them because I was good mates with Rob Newman, and then they started giving Rob Newman shit, and I thought, I can't have borrow this.
Mm.
Oh, do you know what though? I remember I'll tell you this one more thing, right? Just before we go. I remember sitting there, right? Now where I'm on about is you've got the director's box. There's that wall, right? And then you've got the echo booth behind, right? So I'm sitting right near the wall, and the dugout is down there, if that makes any sense to you.
Okay.
And I remember Ron Nodes, this is when he ripped off Simon Jordan, didn't he? Because he kept the ground, made the money, and then he became the manager of Brentford. Do you remember he made himself a manager?
I know that.
Yeah.
So he made himself manager, but there was this whole story about how he kept leaving people and he kept leaving everyone in the lurch and fucking people off and all this. It was going off everywhere. And he was watching the game as the manager, Brentford manager, in the stand, in the director's box. Now, if you know it, right, as you walk down right to go back to the dugout, then you have to come right across to the fans, and then you walk down the stairs and you're in the dugout, right? And as he walks across, there's a fan behind me goes, "Who are you going to leave next then, Ron?" Right? And Ron had big AVAs on his Ray-Bans, right? And I swear, he was like, "Ooh, wow, wow, wow," right? Took him off. He literally took him off slowly and he went, "I left your wife this morning." And he put back on and just walked off. It was brilliant. "I left your wife this morning."
That's brilliant, yeah.
Just so stupid. It's just such football nonsense. So bottom of the end.
Such a football banter.
Pathetic.
Your mum jokes and stuff.
Man stuff. It's brilliant. Anyway, well done, boys.
Yeah,
Top
cheers.
man.
Honestly, cheers.
I'll leave you with that. Lots of love. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
I'll send you that season review, the one you
Send it.
did the audio one.
Can't wait.
I'll send you that.
I can't wait. Love it.
Nice one.
Ciao. See you
Top
later.
man.
Bye.
Catch it out.
See you, mate.